Today, we continue our discussion on how to set up a hospitality business, still at the design stage. The design stage is where you need the input of experts. This is the point where you can save yourself a lot of wastage in terms of expense. Many a times, business owners just get a regular architect to do the designs for them, lay out the building, and even lay out the equipment. Maybe later on, if it's a hotel, for example, they bring you the interior designer. Then the interior designer starts telling you, no, the TV can't be here, the door can't be here. This window has to be moved to the left a little bit. Before you know what's happening, you start doing rework even before you finish the job. Some other times is when the business has even started operating. They start discovering that from customers' complaints, general operations, feedback, doesn't make sense the way certain things have been placed. You need experts to come in at the design stage. Also for a restaurant, for example, in the kitchen or in the front of house, same thing applies. What you should do is that furniture has to be laid out at the design stage with experts supervising it, and ensure that these drawings are done to scale. Don't just take a bed and put it on the drawing. That's what many architects do. For example, they can even use, say, a 6 feet by 6 feet bed. When the owner of the business wants to now procure beds later, he goes to buy a 7 feet bed. Then before you know what's happening, the drawing that looks very spacious is now looking very tight in reality. It is very important that at this design stage, experts are involved in critically looking at what you do, because they have the foresight, they have the understanding, the expertise, the experience to physically imagine what you are seeing on paper, what it will be in real life. They can guide you, and it will minimize wastage, prevent rework, and then save you a lot of time and make your operations effective. The last thing I want to talk about is equipment layouts. Whether it's a hotel, a supermarket, a restaurant, laying out of equipment is very important. Now, in doing this, equipment has to be laid out in such a way that your design is done to scale. You've seen some hotels where the rooms look very tight and choked because the equipment seems to be over-provided for the size of the room. These things are important to avoid rework or the need to start doing maintenance not too long after you start your business. If it's a restaurant, for example, and let's say in the kitchen area, it's also important that the equipment are laid out, the burners, the ovens, the sinks, everything are drawn to scale, and they are laid out according to how they are going to be placed. Now, in this area, you would need the contribution of experts, those who are familiar with industrial kitchen operations. You'll be able to tell you not just enough to put a sink somewhere or put a burner somewhere. One thing that this thing implies is that it has to flow according to the operations, the details of how you're going to be doing your cooking. So if it's a supermarket, for example, the same thing applies. You don't just position the shelf. You need to find out what kind of display shelves you want to use, what's the height. You're able to lay them out according to how they're supposed to be. This is very important, especially if you are a first-time business owner in this field. But you're running a business where you've been doing this before, and then you probably would have noticed that when equipment are not properly laid out, it affects operation. Sometimes it's an accident, sometimes things are not done as fast as they should, and it hampers the entire operation. So it's important that equipment layouts are critically considered. You can be walked through them. In those days when I used to do 9 to 5, what we do is to project the drawings on the big screen. Every member of the team walk through the drawing, and we're able to make our contributions and probably see how it's going to run in real life. So equipment layout done to scale is very important in design. See you in the next video.